I'm not trying to promote misinformation. I'm not trying to be controversial. I've never tried to do anything with this podcast other than just talk to people. I think there's a lot of people that have a distorted perception of what I do.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson is expressing support for Spotify podcaster Joe Rogan as the White House calls on big tech to crack down on misinformation.
Joining us live, the other Fox and Friends Weekend Mail co-host, Will Cain. Will, great to have you. How encouraged are you as a free speech proponent that somebody like The Rock stepped up like this?
Very encouraged, because I think it's the pop culture acceptable thing right now to call for misinformation. You know, Todd, I was driving around in Dallas the other day listening to what used to be one of my favorite sports radio stations, listening to hosts that could have been canceled any of 1,000 times over the last 20 years, openly say, well, you have a responsibility when you're talking about public health, and call for censorship. I was appalled, Todd, but I think that ultimately those sports radio hosts were sheep, because mainstream acceptable culture right now seems to be accepting censorship. So here's Dwayne The Rock Johnson swimming the other way, swimming upstream and saying he supports Joe Rogan. I find that very encouraging, most notably because I think it is rare. Unfortunately, I think it's pretty rare today to be, as you described me so gratuitously and accurately, I might say, as a free speech proponent. Who in the United States of America now truly stands for free speech?
Okay, and I feel like I'm stepping on Todd here because I know he wanted to take this one, but we got to get your thoughts on the 7-time Super Bowl champ Tom Brady officially retiring. What's your thoughts on that, Will?
Well, I think it's sad, probably for everybody outside of New York Jets fans. It's sad. You know, he's been the bane of their existence for 20 years. But actually, everyone in the NFL has been the bane of New York Jets fans' experience for the last 20 years. You know, the NFL hasn't known a Tom Brady-less product for 2 decades, and he's made it better. He's the greatest of all time. I don't just mean that he's the greatest quarterback of all time. He's the greatest football player of all time. I think he's the greatest American team sports athlete of all time. The way he has done it, the length of time with which he has done it, his dedication to discipline. Tom Brady's simply a model. I mean, not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but Tom Brady is a model. And it's a sadder, lesser day for the NFL today that it doesn't include Tom Brady.
Yeah, well, I'll just put a bow on this. There have been so many amazing QBs who put in the work, were at the top of their game, won Super Bowls, and yet this guy is so much higher on them, on the pantheon of quarterbacks in the NFL. It is absolutely shocking what he was able to do. He will be missed. He changed the game. He changed the league.
Hey, Todd,
Will Cain. Yes, sir.
Real quick, 20 years starting in the NFL. 10 of those, half the time he started, he was in the Super Bowl.
Unbelievable.
It's crazy.
Will Cain, see you soon. Thanks, buddy.
Thanks, Will.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page. This is the only way that I know for sure that you're not going to miss any great commentary, any great news bites, any great interviews coming your way on Fox. You can get it all here on YouTube. So subscribe right now.